Bristol Motor Speedway. The world's fastest half mile tonight becomes the world's largest college football stadium. The Vol Walk is a sea of orange. Tennessee a little loose in the turns in the opener, hoping to show some championship horsepower tonight. While Virginia Tech is under a new regime, and we'll find out just what the Hokies have under the hood. Tennessee, Virginia Tech in the battle at Bristol. Welcome to the Pilot Flying J battle at Bristol. Presented on ABC by Wells Fargo. Bristol Motor Speedway tonight will host more than 150,000 people, the largest crowd ever to see a college football game as Virginia Tech, 1-0 out of the ACC, takes on 17th ranked Tennessee, also 1-0 from the SEC. Reese Davis and Kirk Herbstreit here. Chris Fowler working the U.S. Open tonight. Kirk, Tennessee comes in here after dropping 8 spots in the AP poll, second largest drop for a team coming off a win, and it's because they weren't impressive. And the question about the Vols, how do they handle a big stage? This is a big stage. First of all, welcome aboard, my man. Glad to be here. Yeah, looking forward to it. Tennessee got off to a slow start to the season. I think it had as much to do with their attitude. I don't think they showed up mentally really respecting Appalachian State. I think you're going to see a whole different team tonight led by their quarterback, Josh Dobbs. It's a team that last year went 9-4. They returned 17 starters. And offense looked great the last 7 weeks, and it was because of Dobbs' ability to run and throw. I think you'll see him more involved tonight in the running game, maybe up to 10 to 12 carries tonight for him. I think he's got weapons around him. Jalen Hurd, one of the best backs in the SEC. Josh Malone, a guy who can get downfield vertically. And Virginia Tech and Bud Foster will attack this Tennessee offense. I think they have the Vols' attention. I think you're going to see a whole different team than what you saw last week. A Bud Foster lunch pail defense, we're familiar with that. Virginia Tech on offense is going to look completely different now under new head coach Justin Fuente. Well, Justin Fuente is a great offensive mind. It's probably why he got the job. You go back to his years at Memphis as a head coach. Before that, offensive coordinator for Gary Patterson at TCU. Remember, Andy Dalton played for him. His system is very familiar with college football fans because he spreads the field out, and he loves to attack downfield with wide receivers. And he's got some experience with Isaiah Ford. The thing tonight, we're going to find out, does he have the quarterback? Gerard Evans comes from the junior college ranks. Honestly, this is his first real feel of big-time college football. How will he respond to adversity? He's got the tools, but can he deal with the adversity in a Vols defense that's determined to make him prove that he can move the ball against an SEC defense? You know, Gerard telling us yesterday, he's an emotional guy. Sometimes it takes him a little bit to settle down into a game, and there's going to be plenty of energy at this event tonight. The battle at Bristol, these two schools really aren't that far apart, despite the fact that they don't play that often. If you're not familiar with where Bristol is, it sits right on the Tennessee and Virginia state line, almost equidistant, Bristol Motor Speedway, from Blacksburg to Knoxville. Now, they had a NASCAR race here less than 3 weeks ago, and it took 19 days for the transition. They had to bring in truckloads of gravel to raise the infield and then roll out the AstroTurf 3D, by the way. How big is this place? You could fit the big house from Michigan inside it, or if you prefer baseball, maybe you want to see a doubleheader. You could see Fenway Park on the left and Wrigley Field on the right. That's how huge this place is tonight. It is built for racing, and if we're built for racing, we need pit reporters like Dr. Jerry Punch.
Hey, thank you very much, Reese. Hello, everyone. Folks, think about it. Just over 3 weeks ago, where I'm standing was an asphalt parking lot filled with stock cars and semi-tractor trailers. But within 7 hours of waving a checkered flag, the dump trucks began to roll. 450 trucks filled with gravel raised this area about 3.5 feet. Then they put a layer of sand on top with heavy equipment to level it. Then they rolled out this high-tech rubber mat called Nike Grind, made up of ground-up football cleats. How cool. And then on top of that, 101,000 square feet of turf with every 5 yards having to be hand-stitched together. Then they covered it all with 360,000 pounds of sand and composite. Now, normally it would take 25 days for that project to be completed. These folks here did it in 10 days. So how about that? A record-setting construction project paving the way for a record-setting crowd. Speaking of crowds, my man Marty Smith hanging out with people who are wearing different shades of orange.
Doc, thank you. Good evening. For 20 years, I've made fun of Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. for showing up to work in glorified onesie adult pajamas. Now look at us. Welcome to an event 20 years in the making. Back in the mid-90s, former Bristol Motor Speedway general manager Jeff Bird had an idea. Tennessee Volunteers, Virginia Tech Hokies, Bristol Motor Speedway, because as Reese mentions, this track is basically a center point between the two campuses. But some politics got in the way. Some of the folks down at Tennessee didn't like the idea that the most watched game in Tennessee history wouldn't take place at Neyland Stadium. Ultimately, common sense prevailed because of the success of events like the Carrier Classic in college basketball and the Winter Classic in hockey. So here we are. We have Hokies. We have Vols. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Marty, I believe that the ladies have already started their engines just behind you, and it reminded me that they did buy 545,000 beers to sell at this event.
Did they?
Tonight, yeah.
I think I know where 20 of them went.
You look at the battle in Bristol by the numbers, 236 miles between these two, and these two teams getting set to clash here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And here comes the Big Orange, as they say around here. It's football time in Tennessee. Hokies are coming to meet them. The Chicago maroon and burnt orange in the stands. The Hokie Stone uniforms. Virginia Tech and Tennessee about ready to go. Samantha Ponder with us tonight as always. She's with Butch Jones.
Coach, your quarterback said last week the team just lacked intensity. I imagine that's difficult to do tonight, but how would you describe the way your offensive line and quarterback got better during practice this week?
Well, we had a great week of preparation. It's relying on your habits that you established throughout the course of the week and in your football program, and we've done it before. And again, we've had a very productive week. Now we have to make it count tonight.
Coach, we talked about the difficulties this environment presents in terms of depth perception, but also the two lights in these corners over here. How would you characterize your concern with some of the variables here?
Well, we have to focus. That's uncontrollable factors. The biggest thing is going to be communication with the crowd noise.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sam, Butch, thank you very much. And here is the new head coach of the Hokies, Justin Fuente. And Kirk, hey, look, his record is just okay. But you have to understand, when he took over at Memphis, they had won 5 games in 3 years. 19-6 his last 2 seasons, and he's 1-0 here at Virginia Tech.
That's a great point, and very deserving of this opportunity. And I think if you look at kind of what he represents, the type of coach that he is, how he grew up as a young coach with Gary Patterson, it's similar. He brings a blue-collar approach to Blacksburg, which fits with Bud Foster and kind of the traditional outlook of Hokie football over the years with Frank Beamer.
As you heard at the coin toss, Tennessee's going to kick it off. Aaron Medley will get us started. Greg Stroman's deep, underway from Bristol Motor Speedway. Stroman's got it in the corner. Orange everywhere, and he can't even get started. And Tennessee has him knocked down right at the 10-yard line. And here comes the Hokies quarterback, Gerard Evans.
Gerard Evans, we saw him at the walkthrough. What an impressive guy to talk to. There's a good look in his eye. I think the first thing is the first real test. This is an opportunity for him to see how he handles adversity. Has a big arm. He's going to have to challenge Tennessee downfield, and he's got a lot of weapons around him. Isaiah Ford, number 1, is his go-to man. You also see Trayvon McMillan in the backfield. They've got a lot of skill, and they have the ability to challenge this Tennessee defense.
Evans, a transfer from Trinity Valley Community College, where he threw 38 touchdown passes a year ago. 4 touchdown passes in the opener against Liberty. They go empty. Evans gets a quick completion to the dangerous Isaiah Ford. Ford at 11 catches for more than 100 yards a week ago. And this is not what you'll see, or what you've seen in the past for Virginia Tech, I should say. Hokies want to pick up the pace. Picked up 5 on first down. Bucky Hodges in motion. First carry of the night goes to Trayvon McMillan, and McMillan is up close to the first down before he's knocked down by Jalen Reeves-Maven.
go back to Justin Fuente as a play caller, even at TCU and in Memphis. The first thing he says when you talk to him about his offense, we got to get the ball in the perimeter. We got to get the ball in the perimeter. Meaning, first play, just throwing it out. Those quick look passes, screen passes. They love to stretch the defense out horizontally, make those defensive linemen and linebackers have to run sideline to sideline, and then they go back to the bread and butter, which is running between the tackles. A little bit of a cat and mouse game.
Evans, a big fella. He'll keep it himself. He has the first down and a good pickup on third down. And this is one of the things that Justin told us he was still getting comfortable with how Gerard Evans likes to run the ball.
And he said he's still really learning what his strengths are. In a game, don't forget when you're watching him, he does have an ability to run the ball, and he's a big guy. 6'3", 235 pounds, 240 pounds.
Hokies have picked up the first down of the night. They've moved it out from their own 10 to their own 27, I should say.
Tennessee showing man-to-man coverage. He looks over and gets a play that Justin Fuente helped him with to check out of.
A quick pass, quick completion. Ford has another grab, and he has a first down.
You had tight man coverage at the bottom. Justin Fuente helps the young quarterback Evans out with the softer coverage to the top. And he just makes a quick read and, again, get the ball out of his hands quickly and get the ball out to the edge.
A little pop pass. He's got Rodgers over the middle, and Evans with a beautiful throw over the top. You know, we've seen Kansas State use a similar play over the years, and Sam Rodgers making impact early.
Yeah, he came right out of the backfield, and with all the quarterback runs, the linebacker's eyes got caught up on Evans. Great time to call it.
Pick up a 30 as they try to go quickly. Sutton makes the play, and
see, the linebackers got caught up. They're trying to come up to make the tackle, what they thought would be a tackle on Evans. He just slides the fullback, who's a very valuable player in this offense. Sam Rodgers, even last year, just the most versatile player on this offensive attack, and in this new offense, they still use him in a variety of different ways.
And that first down play after the 30-yard pickup, Sutton made a really good play on Bucky Hodges. And there's Hodges, who has the ball again. He was a tight end by trade. In this offense, they flexed him out a little bit. They find a lot of different ways to get a really exceptional athlete the ball. Big physical guy.
Yeah, that time they put him in the backfield almost like an inverted wishbone. Another different look and something for this Tennessee defense to have to adjust to.
Trayvon McMillan in the backfield. Hokies have converted 2 of 3 on third down. Need to pick up about 8. Pressure from the outside from Barnett. Tech picks it up, and a strike is fired to Cam Phillips, and it's another first down for Virginia Tech.
They can rush the quarterback. You're going to see the receiver. He just kind of sinks and sits right in between the linebackers. They give him enough time. And give Evans a lot of credit. He knew that this defense was coming after him on third down. He trusts his offensive line. And that time, great execution again on third down. They've done very well here early in this game on third down. They're now 3 of 4.
Left tackle 69, Joshua Najm did a great job on that last play as McMillan drives it inside the 15. Still straining for every possible inch.
Butch Jones and Bob Shoop knew that they'd give up some yards against these kind of offenses. You can't take everything away with an athletic quarterback in a spread attack, but they knew that when they got him into the red zone, they had to clamp down. They had to force field goals and not give up touchdowns.
Hokies with a 100-yard edge in the early going. McMillan. Tough run, and McMillan had 1,000 yards on the ground a year ago, and Fuente making him improve some pass protection to get a few more of those carries. And you see why he was talented enough to break the 1,000-yard mark as a freshman last year.
This offensive line from Virginia Tech also doing a good job in the trenches, helping the junior college transfer quarterback out.
Another third down. Evans Leaning, pushing, straining, and he's carrying Volunteers across the yellow line, and he appears to have a first down for Virginia Tech. If he does, it'll be 1st and goal, and that's what they're giving him.
He carried 2 Tennessee defenders 3 yards to pick up. He's down right there, short of the first down. But that determination and that leg strength ends up picking the 2 or 3 yards he needed to just pick up the first down.
The Hokies have come out and been the aggressor in the first few minutes. Evans into the flat. There's Rogers lowering the shoulder for the pylon. Touchdown, Hokies.
Do a great job again with this look. Nice job once again utilizing Sam Rogers' skills. Getting this time out in the flat. Remember the first pass on this drive, they slid him out of the backfield behind the linebackers. This time with the play action fake, it froze the linebackers, but they get him to the outside. And again, he is a great athlete. Watch him extend here and get right to the pylon and destroy the camera.
That thing's indestructible, man. It'll be back for more.
I'll tell you, Sam Rogers is a player. He was a former walk-on that earned a scholarship after 1 week of practice.
You wonder, you look at a guy who's just a football player, and how you can't always judge a guy by the measurables. We spent some time with Sam yesterday. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Got a ton of heart, ton of skill, and he has had a huge impact on this game in the first quarter. Hokies up by a touch. Here's the ultimate bird's eye view at Bristol Motor Speedway. That is inside the big video board Colossus, which is 96 feet off the ground. Oh, Marty Smith, our buddy, went up in it yesterday for college game day, and he didn't have a good time. He was ready to come back down.
He's not a fan of heights.
That's one of the best things you could do against Tennessee, is kick it out of the end zone. Now we'll get a chance to see Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah, big thing for him tonight is patience. He's going to face a defense that is very stingy. It's going to be a yard, and then hit a big one. Other thing is creativity. He has great athletic ability, and the way Bud Foster has his defense attacking and playing man-to-man, he's going to have plenty of opportunities to not just make plays with his arm, but make some plays tonight with his feet as well.
Dobbs flipping it out in the flat to the youngster Tyler Bird, a guy that Butch Jones is really excited about his potential. As we take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players.
They're going to go tempo here. You got to go quick. Hurd and Malone are their most explosive players. This defense gets Adonis Alexander back, which is going to be good. And the middle linebacker is key tonight as well.
Bird picked up about 4. Now Jalen Hurd. He knocked down short of the first down. 3rd down coming.
And Bud Foster has been a defensive coordinator in Virginia Tech for a long time. Had one of the worst years last year as a coordinator because so many different injuries and he didn't have a lot of depth. They're anxious to come back this year and have a much better year.
Dobbs on 3rd down, firing, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Josh Malone, and that play looked discombobulated almost from the snap. Nigel Williams was back there rushing Dobbs.
Oh, yeah, the pass rush again. Oh, my gosh. On 3rd down, if you're Josh Dobbs, you're holding on for dear life. The left side of the offensive line gets caved in again. Think about being Josh Dobbs and watch this pressure. He gets the ball off, but look what's closing in on him. And not only the defensive lineman, his own offensive lineman, Drew Richmond, the freshman. Welcome to college football, young man. I was going to say youngin.
Yeah. Hurd missed a block, too. Tennessee has 6 yards on 6 plays. 2 possessions as Stroman makes the fair catch inside his own 25.
Josh Dobbs, a leader, a guy who's played a lot of football. This is the same thing that happened against Appalachian State. And we heard about, well, it was an odd front. They were slanting and angling. They were quick and small. Whatever it is, it's happening again tonight.
Quick slant complete. Cam Phillips has another catch. Good pickup on 1st down, Sam.
Reese, Steve Stripling, defensive line coach at Tennessee, very upset with the lack of physicality from his defense, specifically telling his guys, you have to be more physical on those tight ends. It's just not enough. They were challenged in that way against App State. Let's see how they respond.
Sam, they're losing the battle at the line of scrimmage in this first quarter on both sides of the ball. It's evident, especially with that defense out there.
Second down and 2. McMillan bounces to the outside, running room for Trayvon McMillan. He's in Tennessee territory. McMillan is still on his feet. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. Yards. It was as if someone just waved the green flag and he mashed the gas, baby.
How about the breakaway speed by McMillan to leave Todd Kelly and get to that end zone? Had a nice block on the edge there by the receiver, Isaiah Ford.
After a couple of methodical drives, one resulting in a touchdown, one resulting in no points, now the Hokies show them the quick strike offense.
He had great vision here. The play designed to go to the right. He ends up seeing the crease to the backside. There's the block by Ford. There's nobody left. There's got to be a linebacker. Where's the safety? Todd Kelly right there. He's getting left. McMillan showing that he's got big-time speed in the open field.
Hokie, 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 high. Tech, Tech, VPI. They're doing all of the chants. Those Hokie Stone uniforms are working just fine. As Trayvon McMillan just ripped off a 69-yard run to the house. And Virginia Tech is owning the first quarter against Tennessee. 14-0. Weren't the Hokies worried about trying to find a way to run the ball? He's moved it in a variety of ways, and Evan Berry will have no chance to return it. As McMillan catches his breath, Tennessee comes out down by double digits for the second straight game. Down 13-3 to Appalachian State. Jalen Hurd running and driving his feet and carrying people and just shedding Hokies along the way.
I was just about to say, you're down 14. The first game of the season couldn't have gone any worse. Who's going to step up and show they have some heart and some leadership and they want to compete? Looks like Jalen Hurd does.
Nothing doing this time as Kenny Cannon's right there to put Hurd on the turf.
Well, he is a good football player and he is having a night. Drew Richmond, the left tackle, is having a long night. Left tackle 51 is up against it tonight.
Hurd on second down, and Andrew Matua-Pawaka makes his first tackle of the night. A veteran guy running this Bud Foster defense.
I talked earlier about how Bud Foster's defense allowed 181 yards last year. It's the highest since 1987 for a Virginia Tech defense. You think they had a long off season? You think they wanted to get back on the field and show the guys that played on that field last year that they're better than that?
Third down and 8, and Tennessee desperately needs to keep the ball. Pressure on Dobbs. Flag comes down. It looks as if it might be a hold, but Matua-Pawaka doesn't let Dobbs get to the first down line anyway.
Wait.
Holding offense, number 55. The penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Is this what it's come down to on third down for Tennessee? Watch 55, the center. And he had a long game against Appalachian State. If you can't block him, this is a good move you can maybe try. Body slam right in front of the referee. The third down is becoming a down where they're going to have to run quarterback draw and just deal with the pressure and hope that Dobbs can make plays. Because they can't protect him. He doesn't have a chance.
That's the thing right now, Kirk, is this is already, as early as it is, danger time for Tennessee, because it's tough to have any kind of rally if you can't get any protection or consistently open any holes. Stroman's going to let it hit, and everything's bouncing Virginia Tech's way. It goes into the end zone. Final minute of the first quarter here. Evans flicks it. Well covered receiver. He was looking for his tight end, Chris Cunningham. Well, the first quarter could not have possibly gone better for Gerard Evans and the Hokies. 2 touchdowns and another drive that almost resulted in points. And Fuente's played 15 minutes and he's up by 2 touchdowns and he's still pushing. That's the end of the first quarter here in Bristol. We'll be back right after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Tech has been punching, and Tennessee's been taking it right in the jaw. 14-0. Virginia Tech owned the first 15 minutes of play. We're going to hear from Samantha Ponder in a minute. That's Sharon Jones, a backup quarterback. It's not that he's about to go into the game, but he might have had a little bit of an impact on it. As the Hokies have it to start the second quarter, 2nd and 25, and they put the ball on the ground. This is a break Tennessee needs if they can get it, and they do. It's the second time that Virginia Tech has had trouble handling it tonight, and Tennessee needed a break. And another fumble gives them one. The Hokies lost 4 fumbles in their opener against Liberty.
Yeah, I think that was really more about the timing. The snap wasn't terrible. Carroll coming in motion. Actually, the timing of the snap is what affected that. I don't know if that's on the snap or on Carroll or on the quarterback for sending him late, but that's what happened, and Tennessee catches a break. Their defense had their eyes on the football. They pounced on it, and maybe this is what Tennessee needs, not just great field position, but to get them into the football game with some emotion.
There's Micah Abernathy that got the ball, and now Dobbs throwing to the end zone, goes up top. It's a touchdown. Jawan Jennings outfights Greg Stroman for it, and the Vols are on the board.
Welcome to the 2016 season, Tennessee Vols. First ounce of emotion we've seen from them in 2 games. They take advantage of it. Up 6'3", 205 pounds. He's able to go up and make a play. And Stroman's a talented player, but at 5'11", it's a lot tougher to go up and make that play. He actually fights for it all the way down. Tries to steal the ball away, but clearly a touchdown by Jennings, and a nice throw there by Josh Dobbs. Put it up there where Jennings can make a play.
Jennings, some will tell you, he's the toughest guy on their football team. Mike DeBoer, their offensive coordinator, said they needed to win some 50-50 balls. So you want to see a little emotion on the sideline, do you?
Right there.
Seen plenty of it so far, at least in the last couple of plays. Tennessee's back in it. It's 14-7. Tennessee has made a bit of an attitude change here early in the second quarter. A lot of energy on the Volunteers sideline now after the turnover and the touchdown pass. From Dobbs to Jennings. And so, Sam, tell us exactly what happened down on the Tennessee sideline not long ago.
The catalyst to that change in energy was the least likely of players. It was a backup quarterback, Sharon Jones, who isn't even on the 2 deep, coming up to the O-line and saying, y'all promised us you wouldn't do this. You promised us, saying, I believe in you. But he got so fired up that some of the O-linemen had to hold him back. Things were getting chippy down here. Then, of course, the fumble happens and everybody's friends again, Reese.
Well, you know, what's interesting, Sam, is I love his emotion. I love his passion. He's not going to make a play. I don't care if it's a trainer. Somebody shows some emotion down there. And Bob Shoup, the defensive coordinator, may want to call my man Jones on Monday and have him line up at safety. I love that attitude. Swing
by the office, Sharon. Yeah. I've got some coverages I need to show you. Blitzes. Virginia Tech back to Trayvon McMillan, and it's not just the Tennessee sideline. Some advice of Marty Smith going on in the Virginia Tech sideline too.
Reese, just after that last fumble by the Virginia Tech Hokies, Michael Vick, Virginia Tech legend, walked over to quarterback Gerard Evans and started motioning to him and yelling to him. I walked over to Vick and asked him what he said, and he said he just told Evans, back up. You're too close to the line of scrimmage, so he can't process the motion man, the snap, and everything going on the periphery at once. So he told Evans to back up some from the line of scrimmage.
Darren Kirkland, it didn't matter how far behind the line of scrimmage he was. Kirkland came in there like a shot.
But he was all over. He walked up into the line of scrimmage and nobody picked him up. He just shot a gap. They overloaded that side with defensive linemen. There was nobody there to pick up the middle linebacker, Darren Kirkland, who's a very instinctive player. But that time, with his speed, that was an easy play for him.
To the ground, Tennessee greets McMillan in the backfield, and he won't make it to the first down.
Now that was impressive from Tennessee on the get-off. Defensive line ate up the blocks, and the linebackers coming downhill. Reeves-Maben does a good job inside. He just shot the gap, but the lineman started it by getting off the ball quicker than the offensive lineman. Reeves-Maben and Kirkland cleaned it up.
Sean Golden in there as well. Now Mitchell Ludwig comes on to punt it away for the Hokies, and the dangerous Cameron Sutton, who led the SEC and was 4th in the country, averaging nearly 19 yards for punt return a year ago, is set to receive it. He signals for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 10. So the Volunteers get the big stop on 3rd down, and Tennessee has it back when you come back. And those race cars still around this concrete half-mile oval, the world's fastest half-mile. Tennessee about a half-mile away from the end zone. They have the ball back, only 33 yards of offense so far from their own 10. And Jalen Hurd has been running with some attitude, trying to get the Vol offense going. Good blocking up front. Hurd picks up 5, maybe 6.
Should mention they've taken out Coleman Thomas in the middle and moved Dylan Wiseman, the right guard, into center, and they brought up Jack Jones, the backup right guard, now into the game.
Well, they told us after the way Thomas struggled in the opener against Appalachian State, they still believed in him. But look, you know, at some point you have to produce at this level, and Tennessee needed to make a change. Quarterback draw. Dobbs bounces off one tackler, has a first down. Dobbs still on his feet, tiptoeing along the sideline into Hokie territory before he's finally shoved out by Chuck Clark in the biggest play of the night for Tennessee offensively.
Middle linebacker Matua Pawaka, 54. Watch him. He's got a chance to make the play right there, but Dobbs gives him a stiff arm, and now he's got a convoy. Good blocking downfield. Actually, great effort there to stay in bounds.
A 40-yard run. Hurd driving through the middle of that Hokie defense, gets inside the 40.
It's amazing. You pick up a big run, and all of a sudden you start to go back to your basic offense, and now instead of 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 12, now it's 2nd and 4.
Dobbs didn't have much of a night running against Appalachian State, and that has been his strong suit. We mentioned that he set a rushing record for Tennessee quarterbacks last year with 671 yards. There's a little movement from Jason Kroom. Got away with it. Dobbs going up top, looking for a man out there. Does he have it? He does. Josh Malone beats Stroman, and Tennessee goes 90 yards in a heartbeat, and they're 1 point away from tying it.
Well, they loaded the box here at the line of scrimmage. You can see, look how many people are here. Creates a one-on-one opportunity at the top. Load the box. Dobbs has time to throw. It's amazing if you give him time to throw. He puts it up, and Josh Malone does what he did last week. Locates the football, comes back and makes the play. And Greg Stroman, I don't think really ever had a chance. Never saw the ball until it was already in the hands of Malone for the touchdown.
So how about Dobbs on that drive? They go 90 yards. He had a 40-yard run, the 38-yard touchdown strike. And in 99 seconds, Tennessee's tied it up. They were floundering around, not much going on, and now the Big Orange alive and making ball plays. 2 touchdowns in 5 minutes, and we're dead even. You know, I think it kind of goes back to the old days. We have to get reacquainted with the Los Angeles Rams. Stroman, who just got beat for the touchdown, brings it out and probably wishes he didn't. Stop short of the 15. We'll check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thank you, Reese. And obviously no one will probably ever have a bigger impact on Hokie football than this guy, former head coach Frank Beamer. And, Coach, I know you're not on the sidelines, but Coach is always Coach. Give me your impressions of what you're seeing from your Hokies so far.
Well, early on, I thought we were a little bit better than them up front on both sides of the ball, and I think Tennessee's gathered himself a little bit. It shows you what a quarterback that can run and throw. They're just tough to defend. We had a couple, Michael Vick and Tyrod Taylor and Brian Randall, but I think their quarterbacks made a couple of good plays. We had the last pass covered. Stroman just he got out height. The guy was a tall receiver and just went right over Stroman.
You were a big supporter of this game being played years ago when it was being planned. Now that this night is here, what does this night do, not just for Tennessee and Virginia Tech, but for college football?
Well, this is a setting I've never seen before, and I think to play in a unique game like this, two great fan bases, two great programs. Blacksburg's about the same distance from Bristol as Knoxville, and it's just a natural. I mean, it's just a natural game, and I'm hoping we're going to see more Tennessee, Virginia Tech football games, because I think it's good for both areas, and it's great for this area right here.
Coach, thank you so much, and thanks for all you did for college football. Great to have you here tonight.
Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Reese?
Jerry, Frank, thank you very much. 3rd down and 14. Run the draw to McMillan. He picks up a few, and Tennessee is going to force a punt. Big Orange feeling it right now as Darren Kirkland, their fine linebacker, makes the play.
It is incredible. You go back to the fumble, the fade for a touchdown, all of a sudden some energy, a big run by Josh Dobbs, the fade where the big throw into the end zone where Malone makes a catch, and now it's incredible how much better you can play defensively when you bounce around with a little bit of attitude.
And you always have to be careful of the Tennessee return game with Sutton, but he clears out of the way. Sutton returned a couple for touchdowns last year. Let's see where they're going to spot this ball.
That ball.
Oh, it hit a Tennessee player.
Yeah, when the ball.
Yeah, so it's like a rugby punt.
The kick was first touched by the receiving team, recovered by the receiving team. First down.
Okay, so once it touched a Tennessee player, Vols had to get on it, right, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, the ball bounces off a Tennessee player right there off of his foot. It was one of the rugby-style kick or punts that didn't have a whole lot of height. It just ended up bouncing off of the Tennessee player and gave him great field position.
Okay, so it turns out the end of it, after it hit off Malik Foreman and Tennessee alertly got on it, was an 11-yard punt, and Tennessee has it inside the 25. Hurd looking for room, slips a couple of tackles, picks up one or maybe two.
This Tennessee offense started slow. Their offensive line has struggled in pass protection. They still, other than that fade, that long pass, they haven't done a lot, but they have scored touchdowns the last 2 times that they've had the football here.
And he is. Kamara on the corner. He's on the perimeter, but now he's down. Outstanding open field tackle by Mook Reynolds.
Now, there was a missed block here by the receiver, Josh Smith. Watch Reynolds get around him. There's the effort there by Josh Smith, but Reynolds with great athletic ability. It's always fun to see those hybrid outside linebacker, nickelback type guys asked to make tackles out in space. That time he didn't hesitate, closed that cushion up and made a heck of a play.
And Reynolds weighs about 185 pounds. You see some smaller, faster guys playing those positions now. Because of the nature of the offense. Dobbs getting heat. Chase gets away. Dobbs now throwing back into the middle of the field. That's dangerous, but he threw it right to the back of the end zone as Tyler Bird was out of bounds. Good coverage by the Hokies. If you are going to do that, putting it up high in the back of the end zone is about the best you can hope for.
But what's tough on Josh Dobbs is they rushed 3 there and they got in. I mean, he got the shotgun snap. They rushed 3. He had about maybe 2 seconds until that pass rush got in there, led by Kenny Canham. He got 8 in coverage, only rushing 3.
Aaron Medley's on to attempt a field goal. It's a 34-yarder, and he's been terrific from inside the 40 in his career. 37 of 41, and this to give Tennessee the lead. A rocky start for Rocky Top, but now the Vols are back on top. 17-14 late in the second. Tennessee's just taken a 17-14 lead here in the second quarter. Pilot Flying J battle at Bristol. Volunteers ranked 17th in the country, fell behind 14-0, and now they have the lead as we're at Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. Herbie, this is our view. Powerful binoculars, and Nice big screens are helpful, including Colossus. You know, when we first came up here to check it out, when we arrived in Bristol, I know what a big fan of the movie Zoolander you are. And I was looking, I said, what is this, a football field for ants? You know,
right.
A long way away.
It just looks so small from up here.
You do love Zoolander, don't you?
There was one?
2 of them, actually.
More risks. Comes that blitz again.
Evans gets rid of it just in time, throws it away. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Sam, what do you have for us?
Reese, the change in momentum on this Virginia Tech sideline has been drastic. It felt like a party for most of the game. Now it's been silent. During that last drive, Justin Fuente gathered his entire offense around and said, you should be confident. I could hear every word. It was so silent. He said, you've seen how you could run on this team. At this point, it's just about execution, and you've got to decide.
There's a couple of the mistakes, Sam, that have really hurt. Virginia Tech's outgained Tennessee by more than 100 yards, but they're going to have to give it back to the Vols inside 5 minutes to go. That Tennessee defense is alive, and Danny O'Brien, a 5th-year senior out of Flint, Michigan, was first one to get there.
Danny O'Brien gets the play, but Derek Barnett at the top of your screen, his quickness forced him to cut underneath where the penetration from Danny O'Brien was able to clean the play up. But first time we really called Derek Barnett, who is the alpha, the leader of this defense.
Ludwig gets a foot to it. Now let's see what Sutton has. Give a little ground to try to get some back. Sutton's got running room. Across the 40. And Cameron Sutton is electrifying. Anthony Shigag able to get him on the ground. And their money's worth so far. Here's Alvin Kamara, and Kamara getting up close to the 1st down yardage before Matua Pawaka puts him down.
Somebody said there's another 100,000 outside, too, outside of the stadium.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there are RVs as far as the eye can see, almost terraced RV parks behind us. Talked to several people this afternoon. They're not getting out of here tonight, so they're perfectly happy to just set up camp. It's been a festive atmosphere from the time we got here on Thursday. Quick pass, Josh Malone getting to about the 41-yard line of Virginia Tech, getting close to 3 minutes to go in the 1st half. Adonis Alexander making the stop.
That's the RPO. Yeah, there's the look on the outside. These campers, literally, they've been here since, well, we got here Thursday. They've been here since Thursday. Maybe earlier. That last play, you hear the term RPO, run pass option. Quarterback looks at the receivers and the amount of defenders in that box area, makes a decision.
Dobbs with the quarterback draw, and he got knocked rear end over tea kettle by Chuck Clark. And the run pass options are designed to make a certain defender wrong every time, right?
Yeah, your quarterback looks out and he sees if you're overcommitted to stopping the run, they'll throw it real quick on the outside on a pass. And if you're out wide on the pass, then they're going to run. Sometimes run the quarterback, sometimes run the running back. But it's all based on the numbers between the tackles and in that boxed area.
Hurd running through tackles, 1st down and more. Jalen Hurd upended, but not until he gets down close to the red zone. Faison makes the tackle, but the Big Orange is on the move again.
Yeah, that's more Tennessee football. You'll see a safety, Edmonds, come up. Actually, he already left him behind. He goes up, tries to actually jump Faison, but this is an offense now that's starting to look like the 2015 offense.
1st and goal from just inside the 10. There's Hurd now inside the 5, and Tennessee starting to assert its will.
Yeah, they have a rhythm now to their offense, and the combination of those 2 backs with Hurd and Kamara is really, really nice. Makes it tough on a D.
This time, good penetration from the Hokie front. Jalen Hurd knocked down by Tim Settle.
Tim Settle just splitting a gap there. Settle comes in for Williams and right away makes a play. A highly recruited player coming out of high school. Dropped 30 pounds to get ready for this year. A lot quicker. You just saw it right there.
Inside a minute to go. Tennessee is yet to convert a 3rd down.
That's a fade at the bottom.
Quarterback draw instead. Dobbs 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as they say in Tennessee, give him 6. 23, likely to be about 24 consecutive points. Tennessee is awakened. .39 ticks remaining in the first half, and the Vols about to drop a 24 spot on the Hokies just in the second quarter. The kick is true, and Tennessee has a double-digit lead. And Tennessee is going to get it first in the second half. All the momentum on their side, 24-14. That's the end of the first half here in Bristol. BMW halftime report coming up. Samantha Ponder will speak with the coach right after these messages.
Coach, obviously such a strong start and then a huge shift in momentum. So how do you prioritize what the adjustments need to be?
Well, first of all, we just need to relax a little bit. We're a little frenetic out there. I mean, we get all high and jumping around because we're up, and then they're a good team. They come back, and then we're disheveled. If we just calm down a little bit, I think we'll be fine. On defense, you did such a good job on third down, but Josh Dobbs obviously having his way a little bit. What do you need to do differently defensively to contain him? Well, he hit us on a couple runs, and one on the quarterback draw, one on a designed run, and we may have to get another hat down there to handle that. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to the Pilot Flying J Battle at Bristol. Good tailgating setup outside to watch this ball game. Virginia Tech had the 14-0 lead, but the Vols roared back with 24 straight points, and we're about to start the third quarter here in Bristol. Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit here, and really after Virginia Tech put that ball on the deck, Tennessee finally awakened and took control.
It was a turning point. I mean, Tennessee, between their first game against Appalachian State and the first quarter of this game, it looked like the same team, and I'm sure there were a lot of Vols fans scratching their heads saying, what in the heck is going on? But the fumble really turned the game completely around. I think it gave Tennessee some confidence. It gave them some momentum and some energy for the first time we've seen from them really in their first two games that they played, and they haven't looked back since then. It's a great reminder about how passion and energy can help a football team. And this team has so much pressure on them with the expectations, but they've settled in, and there's still a long way to go, Reese. I mean, Justin Fuente just telling Sam walking off at halftime, we just got to relax. Just play. I'm sure that was his message at halftime.
And he still outgained Tennessee 235-182 in the first half, but Tennessee has a chance to continue that momentum. They get the ball first in the second half. But Joshua Dobbs hit 5 of 8 for 49 yards, couple of touchdowns in the first half. Jalen Hurd had a big second quarter. His first carry of the second half, picks up 1. Matua Pawaka was the first to hit it.
If you're Bud Foster and you're this defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech, you go in there at halftime and you say, guys, we have played great football with the exception of the last drive or two. Control the line of scrimmage and good things will happen. But remember, it's going to come down for Tennessee to move the football on the matchups on the outside. There's one-on-one opportunities on the outside. Can you beat the Virginia Tech secondary?
Hurd pushes his way across the 30. Third down coming. It'll be about 4.5 yards for the first down.
And when the Vols are running the ball, it sets up early down play action pass. Third down and 5 or longer is not good for them because of the offensive line and because of how poor the pass protection is. Ekanum has had a field day down here at the bottom. Watch him here on this third down. See if he can get pressure.
Kamara motioning. They like to get him in space. Kamara has the first down before he's pushed out of bounds. Chuck Clark out of bounds, but Kamara, a shifty back, elusive, explosive speed. We've seen that play a couple of times from the Vols tonight.
And I like the call from Mike DeBoard because he's probably sensing the same thing you and I and every other fan that's a Tennessee fan is thinking is, are they going to give him time to throw? Instead of worrying about giving him time to throw, you get the ball out in space and get the ball out of his hands quickly.
We put on quite a football game tonight as Dobbs bouncing off Hokie defenders. Gets it right around midfield. Well, we see people in this game who are trying to wreck each other, and Josh Dobbs trying to wreck the Virginia Tech defense. Josh Dobbs, and nobody was able to spin him out. A big pickup for the Vols.
Trevin Hill, the freshman, got lost here completely. Watch him bite down on the zone read. He's going to make this read. right there. He reads. He comes down on Jalen Hurd, gives him a huge running lane.
Dobbs now going up top and throwing it toward the sideline. Good coverage over there on Josh Smith. Terrell Edmonds sort of rode him out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Josh Dobbs now 12 carries, 79 yards and a touchdown. As we knew coming into tonight, he would have to use his legs and be a factor in this run game, and he sure has.
The last run picked up 31. Tennessee didn't have a run in its first game longer than 13 yards. They've had a couple of explosive runs tonight. Kamara, who was shaken up earlier, has returned to the game, and Alvin has it. He's hitting the backfield, and Woody Barron was the first one there, and he got help from a whole host of Hokies.
Josh Dobbs would probably love to have that one back. It's the same play. He just misread it. Trevin Hill this time. Watch 94. He's going to read it. Watch this read. He comes down on the back. Pull it. Got to pull that out and have yards to run.
You're right. There was an alley there. He might have scored.
Yeah, that's his read. He collapses on the back. You pull it out. He stays wide. You give it to the back.
3rd down and 14. Pressure on Dobbs. Spins away from it. Dumps it in the flat. 1st down and more for Kamara. Touchdown, Tennessee. On 3rd and 14, Dobbs escapes some pressure. Trevon Hill had him for just a moment. Spun out of his grasp. And the senior majoring in aerospace engineering makes a play through the air. And Kamara finished it. 5 plays, 52 yards, and Tennessee stretched its lead to 30-14 with the extra point pending. Medley puts it through. Tennessee has a little bit of breathing room now. 31 consecutive points after falling behind by 2 touchdowns, and number 6 gets 6 for the Vols. In our game here in Bristol Motor Speedway, the Volunteers have taken control. Josh Dobbs just tied his career high with his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. He only has 7 completions as Tennessee kicks it away, and Virginia Tech desperately needs to get something going on offense, or in a kick return from Greg Stroman. Stroman across the 30 and pushed out of bounds just short of the 35 as we go. Gerard Evans, the junior college transfer. Sam Rogers, who really had some explosive plays in the early part of this game. That was a short gain on 1st down here.
You know, the approach changes now for Justin Fuente and his quarterback Gerard Evans. Obviously down now in this game. They've got to make some plays, and they have to have a quick strike mentality to be able to give themselves a chance to come back in this 2nd half if they have hopes of doing it.
Kirk, you just saw that no Virginia Tech with 1 1st down since the start of the 2nd quarter, and that came on a pass interference penalty. Evans now going up top, and on the subject of pass interference penalties, Justin Martin might well have gotten one again, trying to handle big 6'7" Bucky Hodges.
Yeah, I don't blame him out there, 6'7". Justin Martin is not a small guy, 6'1" corner.
Pass
but boy,
interference.
he locked up on him there early.
15-yard penalty.
The entire route, he was physical.
Well, Justin looked a little frustrated by the call, but I have no idea why. I mean, he was dancing with him pretty good all the way down, and that's the 4th penalty of the night on Butch Jones's team for 40 yards, and it gives Virginia Tech 1st down, the 33-yard line of Tennessee. Hodges in motion, pitch to Shy McKenzie. McKenzie lowering his pads and running through Jalen Reeves-Maben, who had to hit a guy looking forward instead of looking in the opposite direction this time, and Shy got the better of that one.
Watch my man Sam Rogers, 45, on a block here. I mean, he's 8-10 yards downfield blocking people. Isaiah Ford picked up a good block. But boy, Sam Rogers is a total package as a running back, fullback, H-back. He does it all.
Evans to the outside. Cam Phillips has a first down, and Phillips is inside the 20. And just when you thought Virginia Tech was on the ropes, the Hokies now fighting back.
A nice little rub route against man coverage. Inside receiver just goes to the flat, and the two outside receivers come in trying to affect the man-to-man coverage and try to slow down Goldwyn there, who was man-to-man with Cam Sims. Worked well.
Inverted wishbone look. Option. Hodges trying to get the edge. Stiff arm, and Bucky pushes past Rashawn Golden and gets to about the 11 or 12-yard line.
Yeah, when you run an option play and there's a man there assigned to the quarterback and he's right in perfect position the way they had right there, and then you've got a man already on the outside like Goldwyn waiting for the pitch, makes it very, very tough. Virginia Tech fortunate to be able to pick up 5 yards there, because that was defended pretty well as far as the scheme of it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, and it shows you when you're running a guy 6'7", 245 or so,
yeah.
and he gets a head of steam going, he can make something out of it. So 2nd down and 5. McKenzie eludes a tackle, hurdles one, and then gets turned upside down by Reeves-Maven.
Boy, up front, Tennessee getting a big push. Shy Tuttle, watch number 2 in the middle. Look at that push right there. Does a good job. Also, the big fella, Khalil McKenzie. Both those guys, highly touted recruits. And started to, all of a sudden, I'm sure there's Vols fans sitting at home watching, saying, there the big guys are. Those guys were about as heavily recruited as any players in the nation when they came out in high school.
Tuttle coming back from a broken leg, suffered last year. On 3rd down, Evans feeling some heat, eludes a couple of guys, and there is Tuttle wrapping him up and getting some help from Reeves-Maven, but Evans still pushing forward, and we've seen this several times tonight.
He just doesn't give up.
No, he's a pretty big cat to be bringing down.
He doesn't give up. How about the push in the middle with those two guys out there? I mean, you as a quarterback, you want to step up in the pocket.
Joey Sly is going to try to get this back to a 2-possession game. 26-yard field goal attempt is true, and Virginia Tech stops a run of 31 straight Tennessee points. 14-point lead for the Vols. Volunteers got off to a sluggish start tonight, but now with a 31-17 lead after Virginia Tech watched the Vols score 31 straight. They just put a field goal on the board, put together nice drives, aided by penalty, but now with 3:41 left in the 3rd, we got a ball game. 14-point lead for Tennessee. Joshua Dobbs firing it, going for a little back shoulder fade look. Brandon Faison there for the coverage. Tennessee 15 minutes away from a victory. That's the end of the 3rd quarter here in Bristol. We'll be back right after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Welcome back to the Pilot Flying J Battle at Bristol. Presented on ABC by Wells Fargo. 4th quarter about to start here at Bristol Motor Speedway. A record crowd for a college football game, as you see the fine linebacker from Tennessee, Darren Kirkland, being carted away.
Hate to see that. Right in the middle of that defense. Knows it. Does a great job. He's really helped Bob Shoop out a lot coming over from Penn State. One of the leaders of their defense.
See if the 3 can get heat. There are 2 of them on a cannon to slow him down. Hurd swarmed under. First guy to hit him, Mook Reynolds again.
And that's exactly what you want. When you rush 3, if you actually get pressure, it's like icing on the cake. The real reason you rush 3 and drop 8 is to be able to have 8 helmets, 8 sets of eyes staring at the quarterback. And the freshman, actually, Hill, did get in there. But see, you have 3 guys rallying to the football. It's exactly what you want. Great leverage on the ball.
Trevor Daniel standing at his 6th to punt for Tennessee. Greg Stroman hasn't had a lot of return opportunities tonight. They'd have one good special teams play, and he came up and I think he muffed the punt. Now, did Tennessee get it before it went out of bounds? It was a dangerous play by Stroman going up to try to field it in traffic. To take possession of the ball, Tennessee had to secure it before it went out of bounds, and they did. Another miscue and turnover for Virginia Tech. You've talked a lot about patience tonight, and in that particular instance, Stroman perhaps trying too desperately to make a play.
Yeah, I think he ran into his own man there, Curtis Williams.
You know what? And if Stroman hadn't done that, that ball's probably going to hit Curtis Williams in the back anyway.
Yeah, it is.
So. But Micah Abernathy there to scoop up the loose ball, the 4th turnover of the night for the Hokies. Replay official Tom Herbert had another look at that recovery of the muffed punt to see if Micah Abernathy of Tennessee was in bounds. Ruling on the field stood. We looked at several angles during the commercial break. It was tough to tell. It looked to me, I thought Abernathy made the recovery before touching out of bounds. The officials concurred as Dobbs completes the pass to Jason Kroom. And here's another look at that.
This is probably the best look. And we were talking with Dave Kutaya. There's just not enough evidence to overturn that.
Completion to Kroom. Got 9. Tennessee with a 2-touchdown lead as we wind down toward 8 minutes. Trying to put this thing away. Hurd noses around and gets the ball forward for a couple yards, enough to get the first down.
That's a good job just staying north and south. I thought for a second he was going to try to bounce it and potentially try to go wide, and then potentially you end up losing 3 or 4 yards, and now it's a 3rd and 5, but instead he just picked up his 2 or 3 yards and got the first down.
Dobbs to the sideline for assistance. They'll adjust the formation, put Hurd on the other side.
Got 8 guys up close to the line of scrimmage, obviously.
There's Hurd cutting it back, and boy, he took a hit right in the midsection, but still a good pickup on first down. Let's take a look at this week's AP rankings, brought to you by Capital One. Now Clemson only won by 6. Some impressive performances from Ohio State and Florida State. Would you shuffle them up a little bit?
Yeah, you probably would look at that. I think Alabama is going to be up there. Alabama, Florida State. I think Clemson's sleepwalking right now. These first couple games, they'll probably slide down a spot or 2. Ohio State, Michigan continue to not be challenged, but look very, very good.
Dobbs pulled it inside the 20. Joshua Dobbs on his way. Touchdown, Tennessee.
You know, when you have a long run like that, it takes some great blocks downfield, and he picked up some blocks by his receivers, and the big tight end, Ethan Wolf, did a good job. Zone read, he's reading, he can him, comes down, he pulls it out. He's got the speed. There's one good block. Another block off right in front of him there, the receiver Josh Smith. And again, he's got the speed when he gets to that 2nd and 3rd level to make you pay for it. Again, we knew he would run the ball. He's over 100 yards tonight now running.
And he's had a career record rushing yards by a quarterback. He's had a 100-yard rushing night, accounting for 5 touchdowns, and the Big Orange up big. People in this section of seats, they're very sad. And then across the state line from Virginia into Tennessee, which is Bristol sits right on the state line, much happier with the brighter shade of orange.
Pitt gets the street cred, team of the week.
Another football on the ground for Tennessee, and this time it's Shy Tuttle who beats everybody to the ball. Another fumble, another addition for a good hands play, and Fuente, at this point, I'm not sure what you do.
5 turnovers now on the night. This ball just Gerard Evans never had a chance. Look at the big man running. Look at Tuttle at 3'11". Last year, broken ankle. They wanted to ease him back in. And we've seen him play a lot of football in this second half. That is a great sign for Tennessee Vol fans.
Would you like to know that the last 3 times Virginia Tech has touched the ball, all fumbles? Last 3 plays, all fumbles. And here at Bristol Motor Speedway, the Volunteers are racing for the checkered flag. And they've spun Virginia Tech out and put them into the wall along the way. John Kelly, young back there, very high on And they take the checkered. They might have to run some laps for 6.5 minutes, but this baby's in the books as Tennessee has roared away. I think this game was 14-0, and after the extra point, this is going to be a cool 45-3 run by the Big Orange. Well, sometimes Virginia Tech, which got off with such a good start, they explain things in NASCAR sometimes by saying it's just one of those racing deals. They've had a lot of those deals. Fender came off, bumper on the ground, tire blown out, lug nuts falling off. Tennessee,
is that bad?
Putting the hammer down. 45-17. Well, Virginia Tech, once upon a time, up 14-0, but since the second quarter started, a 45-3 spurt for Tennessee. They're on their way. Stroman gets drilled as he crosses the 20-yard line. 6:28 to go, and Gerard Evans and Virginia Tech have had a disastrous run in terms of taking care of the ball. I think just not putting it on the ground would be a victory here.
Yeah, I know Justin Fuente is frustrated. There will be a lot of film work to try to improve, but you got to talk about Butch Jones and the job that he's doing right now in building this Tennessee program up. You know, I think he feels that this team can compete. They get off to a slow start in their season against Appalachian State. It's got off to a slow start tonight. The turning point in their season may be that fumble, because it kind of ignited them. Not just tonight, but there's so much pressure on them to win and get to Atlanta that sometimes that can affect the team and make them feel like they have to try to live up to some almost unrealistic expectations. This is a veteran team, 17 returning starters off a team that was 9-4. You have a quarterback that's played a lot of football. I mean, they're very high expectations, and tonight they finally just played. Virginia Tech kind of opened the door for them, but they just finally started to play. And if I'm a Tennessee fan, I'm not only excited about this year, I'm excited about Butch Jones and the job he's doing in recruiting and the facilities and everything really that they have going in Knoxville. There's a lot to be excited about.
And that record last year, Kirk, it was, I think, even more than just being 9-4. It's the way they had opportunities to win the Oklahoma game, the Florida game, the Alabama game. All of those were opportunities for Tennessee to truly have a special season. There's such a hunger among that fan base and really within that football program to get back to the level that Tennessee has been at in the past, and that's the next step. This is what they have coming up. They've won on September 24th. It's gargantuan because of the losing streak the Vols have had against the Gators.
And people forget that this program is still learning how to win. Honestly, they're 9-4 last year, but you go to previous 7 seasons, they were 40-47, below 500 combined. And last year 9-4, and so when you're learning how to win, like when Alabama does well, when Ohio State does well, it's consistency. It's not an emotional, hey, we're really high and excited today, next week we're going to be flat. The following week we're going to get excited, the next week we're flat. It's consistency, and that's what he's trying to find with his team this year.
Inside 5 minutes to play as we check in down on the track with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Hey guys, Butch Jones, you guys were talking about the fact that they had trouble finishing some of those big games a year ago. In the offseason, Butch, when he was talking about coming here, the NASCAR terminology, he said guys can lead races late. They start looking in their mirrors and thinking about what's coming up behind them, and guess what? They don't win. He said the focus has got to be out the windshield. We got to focus forward on the next play, the next lap. That's how we win races. That's how we win ball games. We got to overcome adversity, which is what they did on Thursday night against Appalachian State. And after going down by 2 scores here, that's what they have done here tonight, focusing forward and trying to be able to finish.
Yeah, Doc, we've seen it again tonight, and it was a sluggish start, but he's got to be very proud that they kept fighting. Now, he's going to have a lot of film work and a lot of stuff to be able to show them that they can get a lot better. With that offensive line, when they look at that first quarter, and they look at some of the pass protection situations, they should want to sprint out to the practice field and into the weight room to try to get better. Before, you know, we've seen Florida these first couple weeks. They look pretty good on defense.
Yeah, they really do.
Not to mention Alabama and the rest of the SEC teams that they're going to be playing.
Couple of weeks away from that showdown with the Gators. Evans starts to throw it, pulls it down. Gerard is tripped up by Golden as he works his way inside the 10-yard line.
And if you're Virginia Tech, it's a transition year with a new head coach. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some highs. There's going to be some lows. It's going to be one of those kind of years.
Jai McKenzie lowering his shoulder and sending some volunteer bodies flying.
Hated all the turnovers, but if you look at this team with the skill that they have, with this new offensive system, Justin Fuente and the quarterback Gerard Evans, they're going to win their fair share of games.
And McKenzie goes into the end zone. Virginia Tech scores a touchdown for the first time since the first quarter. You know, the fumbles, Coach, tonight we've harped on them because it's been the biggest part of the game. The fumbles in the first 2 weeks for Virginia Tech are bad, but losing 9 of the 10, having none of them bounce back to you, hardly any of them bounce out of bounds or whatever. Some of that's bad luck, too, that you think won't last. You know, sooner or later, they're not going to put the ball on the ground as much as they have in the first 2 games.
No, but I mean, with a Bud Foster defense that's going to be better than they were a year ago, you can already see that. And with a quarterback that's going to give you a chance to compete in their division.
He's going to, Evans, speaking of, is going to continue to get better. Bud Foster told us yesterday that Justin Fuente told him because of the way they play offense, you don't have to be perfect on defense anymore. Bud sort of laughed and said he doesn't know me very well yet. I mean, Bud's always going to want perfection. He's going to want better than they've seen in spots tonight, but the fumbles have put them in really difficult spots at different times. Sacks, the interceptions, the lunch pail mentality. Lunch pail defense, I'm sure most know the story. Had it since the mid-90s. They put the mission inside and weekly keys and goals, and when they get big road wins, little pieces of the turf, and they carry this old workers lunch pail around to remind them of the mentality that they want to have on defense, and it's one that's served Virginia Tech extraordinarily well. As long as Foster's been the defensive coordinator, and certainly will as we move into this Justin Fuente era in Tennessee with 3:28 left. We'll take over on the 25 after the touchback. Now, Tennessee, Joshua Dobbs' night is finished. Quentin Dormady is coming in. I'm not going to lie to you, Kirk. Nothing against Dormady, who is a talented young quarterback and has a bright future. But after Sharon Jones put on the show on the sideline, I was kind of rooting for him to get a snap or two here. And 13 got him riled up when things weren't going well.
Yeah, he did.
As Tennessee winds out. Final minute 50 of this battle at Bristol, and they're going to get their second win of the year. Stay tuned for the Ford wrap-up after the game. Cassidy Hubbard will have that. Some wild finishes. TCU and Arkansas was a barn burner. BYU and Utah, and of course the game we've talked about a couple of times. Central Michigan beating Oklahoma State on a most controversial call. Jalen Hurd, 22 carries, 99 yards tonight. Hard running for Tennessee.
Now, even though today was a quiet day as far as marquee matchups, next week we get back into some great games in college football.
We told you College Game Day is going to Louisville for Florida State and the Cardinals. Alabama goes on the road to Ole Miss, Ohio State, and Oklahoma.
And it just goes to show you how with game day you never know where you're going to go. When we all got together in early August and we thought that third week, it was like, wow. I mean, is it Alabama, Ole Miss? Is it Ohio State, Oklahoma? Is it Stanford, USC? Is it Michigan State, Notre Dame? I don't think one person said, no, hey, don't forget about that Florida State Louisville game. And now here we are. Can't wait to go there.
Has the Bear chimed in yet to say that he had it on his radar, Florida State and Louisville?
No, it might have been number 7 on the list.
Yeah, that's true. But Louisville has been electric in the first couple of weeks. Lamar Jackson.
Great town, too. Go there every year for the Derby.
Look forward to getting there for sure. It's been a great trip to Bristol as well. Started off much better than it finished for Justin Fuente, and Tennessee roars away with a 45-24 win as the final seconds tick off here in front of the largest crowd ever to see a college football game. Better than 156,000. I believe the official count was 156,990. Josh Dobbs in Tennessee look a little bit more like what was expected in the preseason, with a dominant performance from the second quarter on, taking advantage of every opportunity and playing much better up front. Dobbs made plays both with his feet and through the air. Victorious coaches, Butch Jones, he's with Sam Ponder.
Coach, 8 straight wins for the first time since 1998. What does that mean to your program?
Well, it's just another win, and it puts us at 2-0, and we'll get ready to go for another week. But again, it's been a remarkable turnaround for this football program, and everyone has really invested in it, and we have to keep this thing going. This individual right here in our first recruiting class really helped change the culture of Tennessee football and get us back to where we need to be. But we made a lot of mistakes tonight that we have to correct as we continue to improve as a football team.
You mentioned turnaround, and I immediately thought of this game. What is the difference between the team we saw in the first quarter and the way you finished up tonight?
I think we woke up a little bit, and this team is learning how to have intensity for 60 minutes, and we're still not there yet. But obviously the turnover by the defense, and then a big play, and then obviously a big touchdown pass from him as well. So we're going to enjoy this tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Samantha, 45-24 the final. And it has been a really spectacular weekend. 20 years in the making to put together this game. Bristol Motor Speedway and all of the people who organized this event, the officials from both schools did a magnificent job, created a great atmosphere all the way from the start of game day through the end of the game tonight. The largest crowd ever to see a college football game, and it wasn't just a game, it was an event here in Thunder Valley, known for tough, hard-nosed racing, and we saw plenty of hard-nosed football tonight between these two proud programs. But it was Tennessee making the clutch plays behind their veteran quarterback Joshua Dobbs, and they come out of Bristol with a victory. Time now for the Ford wrap-up. Let's go to Cassidy Hubbard.